Somehow along the way, I developed this nasty habit of consuming way too much online content. And while this is happening, I'm not really in control. My monkey mind just takes over and I'm left in the backseat, just watching.
Yeah, it gets pretty bad.
This is my addiction. I have a dysfunctional relation with entertainment, and it rules my day. While I'm trying to focus, I get this twitch to go online, and I keep alternating between work and distractions. Instead of consuming, I want to spend more time creating, but that requires focus and a calm mind. You see my problem. I need tech and online access to work, but at the same time, they get in my way. Yet the problem is not the tools. I am the problem. So, let's fix it. So, I designed this challenge exactly to address all these points, to make sure I become more aware of these breaks in concentration and also to fix my relationship with entertainment. So, let's start the challenge. Oh yeah, right, here are the rules. So, the first rule, and definitely the most important one, is that I only allow to go online 1 hour per day, and I need to schedule that hour. So, when I'm working, I cannot just go online for some random reason. I need to wait for that hour to come, and then I can search for the things that really matter because I just have 1 hour. And that leads us to the next rule, which is that every time I go online during that 1 hour, I need to have a purpose. I need to have a clear goal for what am I doing online so I don't get lost. I cannot just go to Facebook, YouTube, Instagram during 1 hour. I still need to accomplish something and use the internet more as a tool and less as a piece of entertainment. Next rule. For the third rule is that I have to have a scheduled plan for my day. So an hour by hour blocked time with the activities that I will be focusing on. So this way there's no space for distractions. And this leads me to the next and final rule, which is no multitasking. This means that if I'm doing whatever it is that I planned for that time, I can only do that. So if I'm writing a blog post, for example, I cannot listen to music while I'm doing it. I can only really focus on one thing at a time. And especially, I cannot be on my phone. So these are all the rules. I'll be following them for a week. Should be pretty straightforward. Yeah, what a challenge. So I started the first day of the challenge by doing a rough planning of my week. Nothing fancy, just trying to create some structure to my days, like when I was going to eat, when I was going to work, and when I was allowed to go online. What's really interesting is that I started out by planning these big chunks of time, but the first big change I felt was on the little things. That once I removed distractions, I was left with a lot of time on my day, and that daily activities that I do all the time felt very different. You know, like eating. Because I cannot be distracted online, neither multitask, my meals turned very quiet. And it turns out that I have more time in a day than I thought, so I started doing things I don't usually do. Yeah, I guess I should also take care of this mess. Yeah, not being allowed to go online makes you do weird things. Most of my week was spent planning, editing and shooting this video you're watching right now, and I think you can tell by the edits that I really had a lot of fun making it. I think it's one of the best videos I did so far, and I truly think it's because I cut out the distractions. I was able to create something I'm proud and something that shows my current skills. All because I cut out distractions. This challenge is basically a reaction to my previous video where I talked about flow state and how to achieve it, where I basically concluded that if I want to keep progressing, I need to take care of this bad habit. But like any bad habit, it is difficult to break, especially when I was in front of the computer and I had to go online. Today's the third day. I've been doing quite well so far. Quite proud of myself, to be honest. But I went to YouTube now for the video, but I immediately felt the pull of YouTube. Cannot really wait for my 1 hour online to do that part of the video, because otherwise I will not get this thing. I immediately started getting very curious about the recommendations that YouTube was giving me. I saw some pretty interesting stuff, very tempted to click, kind of going through the videos. To be honest, I clicked in some of them. I was shooting them and doing the B-roll for the montage, but I was also watching videos. But it's in these moments that you realize how dependent you are of entertainment and all these things. It's the point of the challenge to get rid of this, or at least notice how dependent and how present these things are in my life. Yeah. I knew these moments of weakness would happen, so I kept track of them during the week. Each line represents every time I checked my phone or opened the browser without having any reason to do it. And as you can see, as the days went by, I was less affected by these impulses. And it's not only because I craved less entertainment and distractions, but also because I became better at stopping myself from acting upon those desires. The need for distraction was still there, I just didn't do anything about it and kept working. And that's my biggest takeaway from this challenge. That I can train myself to be aware of these impulses and postpone entertainment until I deserve it. That there's a price to be paid for always being connected, and for me, it's my creativity. That without intention and thought, entertainment is pointless. And that's why I will keep doing this challenge for as long as I can, so that these rules that I laid out can eventually turn into just part of my routine, and I can finally turn these bad habits into a good one. If you also want to do the challenge like me, I put a link down below in the description so that you have more access to some information I didn't share in the video, some tips and tricks that I learned along the way. As always, thank you for watching, like the video if you did, and subscribe if you want more challenges like this. And yeah, good luck if you're doing the challenge, you will need it, and I see you on the next video. Bye. That much better this.